Hey guys, how's it going? Jovan Hutton Pulitzer here. I just kind of spontaneously decided to drop in and let's share a beer together. So get your beer. Let's toast each other. Let's kind of share a beer together. It has been a long damn day, right? And I just kind of want to give you an update. Ike, how you doing? You got a package on the way. I just want to kind of give you an update on what's going on. You're hearing all kinds of stuff in the news, and I just want to kind of decode it for you, if that's okay. Just so you understand what you're hearing and what's going on and what's being worked on and how does all this do. Hey, Heidi, take some video and photos for me and send that to me, would you please? And hey, June, how are you doing? And hey, Jesse Mendez, an American with Mexican heritage. You're my man. How's it going? Dennis, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you. Jonathan Barber, hey there, how you doing? Give me a shout out. Let me know where you're tuning in from. There is always a little bit of delay. I am flat ass tired. Mike, thank you for saying you appreciate my effort. Thank you, Heike, for doing that. And hey, Justin, my friend, how's it going there? I'm warm. I got to bed last night at 3. I probably really slept 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, right? Hey there, hey, Daniel, how you doing, brother? We got June joining us in West Virginia. We got Michael and Kissimmee, Florida. I love that name, right? Kissimmee. Hey, Rick in Wisconsin. Stephanie in Ohio, how you doing? Shoshana, love that. Oh, and Shoshana's a ginger. I love gingers. In Venice, Florida, how you doing? I'm just tired, right? And you can imagine, I mean, you have no idea the warriors fighting for this president. Hey, Greg, how you doing, brother? Jim in Kentucky, how's it going? Julia, my crush in Canada. Love me some Julia. Anyway, Jesse Mendez may remember me as Toledo Jess. Hey there, how's it going? John in Missouri, how's it going? I know how tired I am, and I know how much my body aches, and I know how much I'm worn. Get your beer. Let's share beer. I'm having Lone Star, right? I'm one ahead of you. This is my second one. Only because I just needed this to slow down. It has been a long day. Got up early, started with a security debrief, then basically did a video. Hey, Wiggs. Wig says, hey, Jovan, Poyen, Arkansas. Wig, do you know I'm from Arkansas? Did you catch that? I was born in Arkansas, right? And I was born in Arkansas. And the good thing about being born in Arkansas is that when my first marriage failed, and I got a divorce, right? We ended amicably, and at least it preserved our relationship as brother and sister. No, I'm kidding, but I am from Arkansas. Hey, Amy, Cheapo. Amy, Cheapo. Cheapo? Wow. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Daniel says, mark my words, Trump will serve a second consecutive term. Jonathan Barber in New Jersey. Anyway, so I did a debrief and did a high-level interview for the security community. Arkies stick together. That's right. Kind of like dogs doing it in the middle of the street. We all stick together. Anyway, Kelly, my buddy, how's it going, buddy? Kelly, if you don't know Kelly on Facebook, Kelly shares the funniest damn memes in the world, right? And he's consistent. He's consistent in sharing the best memes there are. So if you don't know Kelly, you got to get ahead of Natalie is in Minnesota. Hey, Natalie, how you doing, dear? And we got Gary. Gary's here. How's it going? And Susan, how you doing? And Amy Cheapo. Yes, teased about that most of my life. Amy, cheap hoe from Home Depot. I am not teasing you. I just thought that is very funny. You know, that's the first time in my entire life I have ever seen that name. I wonder what the derivation is. Tony. Hey, Tony, dear. I brag about you to my friends and family. You are a rock star. I appreciate you saying so. Hey, Judith, how you doing, dear? Sarah Brady, you're still in Dubai. Oh, that's right. That's right. You're staying in Dubai for a few extra time. God, it must be horrible to be hanging out with royal families and staying in their most expensive part of the world and hanging out and experiencing the great stuff. I'm very sorry I'm not with you there, dear. But I had to do this fighting back at home. Hey, Joe. Joe Fagan here is one of my most ardent supporters, right? Sharing my stuff, right? Judy Carter in Mississippi. You know, Judy, I have folks in Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi, I do. Gary's in Ontario. Spencerville, Ontario, Canada. Joe's in Illinois, battleground state. Croatia. Okay, Croatia. I've never heard that. Cheapo. I'll have to look that up and see what the derivation of it is. Daniel Barkley, Middle Tennessee, close to Nashville. And Kelly says, I try my best. Kelly, you are the man at the funniest damn memes on the planet. I tell you are. So, okay, let's just start here. Give us some good news. Hey, Jillian. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing? How's it going? And Aaron. And I have to look away from my camera to see my screen. Puyallup. Am I saying that right? Puyallup, Washington, West Virginia, John, Diana, Pennsylvania, Alan, and Wisconsin. I got to kind of keep up with yours moving so fast. Hannah in Mississippi. Love Mississippi. Look, there's more Gingers. Nancy in Pensacola, California. Daniel, Ona, Lake House, Bruce Ferry Lake, and cabin on the Little Red River. That's wonderful. I'm truly suffering. And Sarah, okay, so very dear friend of mine, precious, connected woman, very smart, intelligent, exceptional. Her life is very inspirational. I've got to know it. And she says, truly, I'm suffering in the beautiful weather, spending days on yachts and nights on the rooftop parties, and the only thing is missing you. Thank you very much. You're so nice to say that, right? She's having to suffer in Dubai. Okay, let's get going here. Let me tell you what today's all about, what's going on. Get your beer. I'm having Lone Star. Get your beer. Let's have a toast. Toast to you. Love you all. I know it's stressful as shit at home, right? It's horrible. But okay, so I started interviews this morning, did a security debrief, and then talked to the White House, and then doing medias, and I've done 5 or 6 different media things. Johnny Ringo, what's this show about? First time here, Johnny Ringo. Well, welcome to the Hamster Duct Tape and Richard Gere channel. We're glad you could join us this evening. We talk about the aspects of should you not remove the gerbil's nails? No, I'm just kidding you. Pay attention, brother. Yeah. Okay. Daniel lived here for 10 years. Okay. I know the media is hammering you, and all I want to explain is the toast, Mike's Hard Lemonade. Toast to you, my sweetheart. Tony, how you doing? Toast to you. Boy, that should be a drinking game. Every time you send me a toast and tell you what you're drinking, I should drink. Distiller Pride, my buddy, my friend Joe, Distiller's Pride and Dr. Pepper. There you go. Have you ever had original Dr. Pepper from Stephenville, Texas? Made with real sugar. Jeremy, my brother, I used to have hair just look like Jeremy. Look at Jeremy's hair, right? I used to have hair like that. Don't believe me, go back to my television series in the 80s and 90s and stuff and look like it. I was like Kenny G, right? We used to have long hair. And I was known as the man with the hair. But this is what happens when you tie it back in ponytails all your life. The shit falls out. It's horrible. June Kissinger, mineral water. Cheers to you, sweetheart. Damn, I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor, Sean says. I don't know if I have a great sense of humor. I just kind of call it like it is, and we're all friends and buddies, and I just shoot the shit with you just like I shoot the shit with friends and buddies. Diana, Thistle and Finch white rye whiskey in my tea. I haven't tried rye whiskey. I have tried rye vodka, And I actually love potato vodka the best, right? Jeremy says, how about a toke? Jeremy, I actually don't toke, but that's your right, brother. And I will toke to you. You can toke around me and we'll share a drink, brother. I love you. Dublin, you're right. Leslie, Dublin Dr. Pepper. Toast of sweet tea, wine of the South. You're right. We were talking about somebody. My family made sweet tea so sweet when I was a kid that it was had so much density to it that if you could drop something in and float, it would float. Hey, Bill Kelly, my brother from another mother, my buddy in Atlanta. How's it going? Dave Elliott, first time here and I'm staying. Thank you for doing here. Mark Baker in Pendleton, how it's going. Jill's drinking coffee. Can you drink coffee and go to sleep? I can drink coffee and go to sleep, right? Gary say drinking carbonated water, and yeah, I'm a wild man. I don't do this much. I actually drink cracked water, right? Cracked on the nanomolecular level. I'll explain that some other time, but that's actually what I drink, right? Y'all was just drinking Jello, right? Are you sick? I hope you're not sick, Daniel. I used to drink Jello when your stomach's upset, right? Cheers, brother. I still love you too. Yes, cheers. Okay. And diabetic inducing sweet tea. You're right. Diabetic inducing. I'm surprised all of us in the South have somehow emerged into society without having diabetes. I'll tell you something real quick and I'll get back to the point. Okay. Bear with me for a minute. I was talking to somebody in Washington, D.C. today who is from in D.C. and in the midst of this. Bill Kelly says, I'm rocking Jameson Black Barrel here. Cheers to you, brother. Every time I say that, it makes me think of my friend. You guys, you're gonna envy me, but my friend Jenna Jameson. Anyway, okay. Rum, chata, peppermint bark, and hot chocolate. Karen's that actually sounds good. I love anything peppermint. I really do. Jill Jones on YouTube. Hey, Julia can finally drink decaf again. Was missing the real thing. You never actually explained to me why you had to give up caffeine. Yeah, Rick, I know I go on tangents. I really do. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay, I promise. But let me tell you this last story because you're going to like it. She was from the South, and of course, we're doing all this security shit and talking, and we're going back and forth on secure channels and all this other shit that goes on. And she's a Southern girl as well from Mississippi, in that area and stuff. And we were talking about it, and that's why I had a conversation about sweet tea today. Somebody just brought it up, made me go on a tangent. And I told her our sweet tea was so freaking sweet that stuff would float on it. But I'm going to tell you a true story here real quick about me so you understand a little bit about my childhood. My Aunt Grace, I love her to death. She's more like, you're right, Justin, man, you're going to have to shit through this story, brother, right? You're going to have to sit through it. Agnes, hey dear, how you doing? Nice to see you. Anyway, every Friday night, my family would get together. Now, you got to understand, I'm part of several hundred grandkids and great-grandkids. My dad, his siblings, comes from enough siblings to have their own football team. My dad's the youngest boy. He has two youngest sisters. His immediate youngest sister was just right out of town. And every Friday night, we'd go to the family house out in the country and swim in the river and do all that stuff, right? Jackson, Mississippi, by the way. Okay, Los Lunas, Mexico just joined us. Oh, it's a hard thing. Julia, it's a hard thing. Now, I can take that two ways. It's a heart don't have caffeine, or do I just make your heart flutter every time you see me? Anyway, my Aunt Grace, who I love to death, loved like my mother. I didn't grow up with my mother, but I loved like my mother. We would have spaghetti every single Friday night. So it was like garlic toast, which is basically butter crust bread with a shitload of butter on it and garlic salt, right? Love it. Big pots of pasta. Now, every pot of pasta, pot of pasta. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing, dear? Every pot of pasta had one stick of butter in it. So imagine a big bowl of pasta had one stick of butter, right? And so we're talking the fattiest shit, greasy shit you could do. And Julia, you just made my heart flutter. I fireballed a sippy cup Is that like the cinnamon shots? I love that stuff. Okay. Anyway, so 1 stick of butter to like one package of pasta, right? Paternal grandparents, 14 kids. I don't know all my first cousins. I have so many. There's literally hundreds of us. And Kelly says, son of a bitch, now I'm hungry. Okay, so hamburger meat, sometimes mixed with sausage. High Commander drinking wine in Pittsburgh, kept the fan base busy this afternoon. Thank you. Hey, Kevin, cheers to you, brother. Okay. I promise I'll get this story out. I'm not going to do any more comments. So my Aunt Grace, in a 1 package of pasta, actually got 1 stick of butter, right? And so for all of us, it was a lot of different, pots of pasta with butter. Then it's really fatty, really, really fatty. Thank you, Tony. Really fatty hamburger, all from our own tallow, right? And sometimes sausage mixed in with it, like breakfast sausage. You mix it all in, so it's sausage and meat. It's really thick and good stuff. So we would all fill up our plates, right? Hillbilly spaghetti. You're right, right? June, you know what I'm talking about. Hillbilly spaghetti, right? Okay. And so we would load up our plates with spaghetti, and all of us kids would eat. And so there'd be about 6 of us. That'd be a slow night. But there was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of us. And we would eat our pasta, and we would leave out the dining room door where all of our folks were playing 42. And if you're a Southerner, you know what that is, right? The folks are playing dominoes. So they're not paying attention to the kids. Everybody's playing dominoes. So we run outside, and in 1/4 of the yard, now this is out in the country, so you have shit in the yard, right? There is a metal rack, kind of like a painter's rack, where you put up ladders and stuff on. I don't know why it sat in the yard for all this time, but it did. And so we would get on all that metal rack, and we'd sit there, and we'd play a game. And the game was called, and you're right, it's an Arkansas Saturday night. Here's what the game was called, right? The game was called LTV. LTV, right? LTV. And what is LTV? It's a game you play as a kid in the country. We played kick the can afterwards, if you know what kick the can is. But before we played that game, we played LTV. And LTV stands for last to vomit. So the rules of the game, were we all got up and we told gross stories, and we tried to make each other throw up. And the winner was the very last one to blow chunks, kind of like, there you go, light and flavor booty lover. You spew, and the last one that spews wins. And now it was really horrible because my cousin Aubrey, which you saw me on the History Channel with, right? We were raised together as cousins. We were raised like brothers and stuff. And he's older than me. And I swear to God, at 5 years old, he was already 6'2", right? And he's even much bigger than that now. He would hold me down because he always knew he could make me vomit first. And what he would do is he would hold me down, and he would take his damn finger. He would take his damn finger, and he would dig it in his belly button, right? He would freaking dig around in his belly button. And he would hold me down, and he'd stick his finger in my nose. And if you've ever dug in your belly button, right, you freaking know it smells like your ass. And I would go to puking. I couldn't move fast enough, and I'd puke, and the spaghetti would fall back in my mouth. It was so damn horrible. But as soon as I started puking, everybody started puking. And we would have a spaghetti spewing contest, right? And the last one to vomit won. Hey, Randall, it's a game called LTV, Last to Vomit. and the last to vomit won, and we'd vomit all our damn spaghetti out. The dogs would have a freaking feast, right? And then we'd run back in to the house and we'd eat more damn spaghetti with all our parents go, where does all that go? How do y'all keep all that spaghetti? Well, we were vomiting this shit up, right? Vomiting this shit up. And you're right. I've had many a spaghetti worm wiggle out my nose as I was vomiting, right? And we had spaghetti vomiting contest. And then after that, we kicked the can. Okay, I'm gonna go back. So let's talk about the news today, okay? I'm very sorry, I digress. I'm like that, right? It's horrible. But it's true. We even play games. Whoever had spaghetti come out their nose won too. And right, kick the can, red river. Man, why don't kids even do that thing, right? One of the many reasons, Jillian Joe knows this, one of the very many reasons, useful things about dog is they clean up the puke. Hey, okay. So you're hearing in all the news headlines that the electors, depending upon where you get your news, and I don't know if there's any really news today, right? Yes, I digress. Yes, finish my beer. I'm sorry. I will finish my beer. Yes, I'm going to give you some good news. Hang on. Too much information about the spaghetti. The news is telling you that electors, you will see part of the news, depending where you get news, I think it's all opinion. I don't think there's any really news left. But part of the news is electors vote for Biden and Biden's in, okay? And then you'll see other news that say, and Jillian's right, wouldn't be so cheerful if he was a bearer of bad news. I love you, dear. Thank you. You're so smart. You know me. And so you're reading this mixed news, and I just want to tell you how to decipher the news, because that's what they don't tell you. And so when you see states, Philadelphia, all this other stuff, right? Say, you'll say electors went for Trump and electors went for Biden. You kind of have to understand what's up. And, people are saying, 360 electors. There you go, Charles. They're saying these different things about who's winning. But I want you just to pay attention to the one word, right? Just the one word. And the one word is, they'll say Democrat electors. And so if it's on the left-leaning news, they'll say Democrat electors certify Joe Biden. And then on the right side of the news, you'll see Republican electors certify Trump. Let me tell you how this works. Number one is that you have dual electors in every state. You're right, Sharon, smart woman. Thank you so very much, but you're 100% right. And they're only reporting on what their electors said. Now, this is very important because if they split these things by their words, they'll tell you one thing, Trump is out, Biden's in, Trump's in, Biden's out. They're only reporting on that section of the other one. And Kevin, I just caught that. Last to vomit versus mainstream media, same thing. You're exactly right. And so read them very carefully, please, because you will hear conflicting stories about states and how they cast their ballots. And in reality, that's kind of how it goes. That's what you expect to happen in a contested vote, which means it can get really, 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 really contested. And then this stuff can be thrown to the House of Representatives to do a vote to the House. And then in the House, each state has one vote. Each state has one vote. So it's not like California that has 80,000 House members because it's so big, right? It's still up in the air, right? It's still up in the air. And what about that call I got earlier tonight? I'll tell you about that next. And so just read it carefully, okay? Just read it carefully, and you got to understand the differences between what you're being told. And that's all I'm saying on that is Don't get down, don't get up, don't get down, don't freak out, don't fight about it with your left friends or your right friends or whatever side you're on, my friends. It doesn't matter. It's still not decided no matter what you read. It still has a long way to go no matter what you read. Yes, it is a surprise with Attorney General Barr resigning. That's official Christmas. He'll be gone after that. But you know, this is a clash of two really icky monsters. And when I say really icky monsters, I'm not talking about Biden and Trump. I'm talking about mainstream media and the political animal, right? It's different. Mainstream media and the political animal. And so you have to understand the main three, how this works. And you're right. Biden told the world to stand down today, right? And we're being censored. Our brains are being censored. So number one, relax. Just relax. This is the process. This has happened several times in history. We've been here before. Of course, it was a while back, but we've been here before. Just relax, because you got to understand you are dealing with deception, and you're dealing with not news but opinion, and you're dealing with foreign actors. Remember, you're fighting with bots online, and Heike's executive. Hey, nice to see your face. Thank you so very much. You're fighting with psychological warfare. I did a interview this evening. I did an interview where I talked about this thing. This is the most significant war we've ever been in. And Justin, I know I can't relax. I know it's tough. I really know it's tough, and believe me, I know it's tough. Can you imagine what it feels like to be President Trump and to have so many enemies on the inside and so many people attacking him and so many billions spent to spin the man for what he not really is? Can you imagine what he goes through? And I just pray for President Trump just to stand strong. It's amazing the strength he has, that he's still doing what he does. But it is not over yet. That's not who it is. Had a major victory today, And the major victory today was, you're going to see some information. I can't announce it yet, but you're going to see information that's going to come out here very shortly about one of the states and what they're going to do, allowing certain things to be investigated where we can really, really, really get a look at it. Okay. And if you understand, you've been watching, President Trump's a billionaire who takes no check for what he does. Let me tell you about this. Because you're a foreign person. President Trump is a billionaire and has gone backwards in net worth since becoming the president. He didn't take a salary. Whereas Congress people and all these other people come in at a job for about $160,000 a year, work for 5 or 6 or 7 years as a congressperson on $160,000 a year while maintaining dual residences, because they got to have one in D.C. How do they walk out of Congress and be worth $10 million? You ever think about that? Nobody talks about that, right? How do you do it? You can't eat. You can go back and look at their numbers coming into Congress of what they had, right? Coming into what they had. How do they retire with tens of millions of dollars when they walk out of Congress? That should tell you something right there. Yeah, Leslie, you're right. You got to just remain calm. We got to go through it. And Trump has incredible poise, etc. I just know it's hard to do. And Tim, you're right, can't be bought by the deep state. I've never seen so many bad actors. People I respect, you find out they're bad actors. People out for everybody, the attack or whatever, right? So I just want you to understand, and right, Justin, term limits. Anyway, don't believe the media. It's not over yet. There's been some incredible things discovered. Daisy, sweetheart, how you doing? Free flights, free postage. Awesome. Just hang tight. Just hang tight. You're about to see a very fast escalation of things that are going on. I'll give you an example if you didn't see it in the news today, because the news didn't talk about a lot of these things. But In elections, and this is what I just did the international strategy interview for. In elections, don't quote me on the exact numbers. I'm having a beer. Get your beers, drink with me. Elections can have by law a 0.0000029% error rate. Okay, period. Okay, and in that error rate, that's what's considered acceptable. What you saw today in the audits going on, and know all the guys, know all the players, know everything going on and part of it, you found that states have been found to have a 68% error of margin. You're allowed 0.0000029. So you're going to see some things happening. You're going to see a major victory coming out. Yeah, it was a 68% error of margin. You shouldn't have a 68% error of margin. It's not allowed. Yes, servers in Germany. Okay. And so this is just really big. It's just really nasty. You're watching something with a sideline seat that you read about in history books. That's how significant this is, right? We normally read about empires and stuff folding and people cannibalizing each other and Rome fall and Nero fiddling while it's burning, right? You're watching it, you got a ringside seat, and that's why it hurts so damn bad. That's why it hurts so bad, because you're watching it, and we all feel it, and we're all experiencing it. And it doesn't matter what side you're on, we're all going through the same angst. It's always, like I said, it's the old Russian axiom. It's true in the intelligence community, and it's true today. There is no new truth in the news, and there is no news in the truth. That's just not how news works, and that's where you get your stuff. You got to stop it. That's why I'm just trying to give you updates. So you're going to see a major announcement that'll hit tomorrow about one of the big states. It's not all over. Some of the states the numbers are just really, really, really odd, right? But if something's off, it is. Now, I would like to correct everybody's thinking if I can. You know, we're talking about election fraud. I would kind of like to frame this just a little bit for you. It's probably better to say that, you know, there was a lot of bad actors doing things. That's the way it is. But it's actually what we need to do is have just vote verification. That's all it is. Vote verification. Doesn't matter who wins. Whatever wins, and if that comes up, that's what it is. There's always going to be a lot of people pissed off on each side. Okay? There's always going to be a lot of people pissed off on each side. No matter what happens, just prepare for that. But what's most important is that votes be verified. That's it. And so don't believe what you're seeing in the mainstream media. They have a vested interest. My second beer is getting to me. Lone Star. They have a vested interest in not telling it like it is, because they got to keep you glued to the set. They win if you love them. Oh yeah, my candidate's winning. And they love if you hate them. You fucking idiots, I hate you. But you're still watching. That's just the way news works, right? And it's about the truth. That's it. Bottom line. We just want the truth. And so some very, very major victories were won today. And I just want to let you know that. And for those of you in the United States of America, because I know I have viewers all around the globe, hang tight, be calm, relax. Have a beer, have a brew, hug your loved ones, hang out, have some good food. We can't change anything at the moment, but you can pray. You can put out good thoughts out there, right? You can put good thoughts out there. And that's what I would recommend. And I'm going to show this again to you just real quick. So let me pull something on my screen. And I just want to stress this to you because I think it's so important. Okay, I just think it's so important. So I want to show you this. And I'm going to show you this again. Hang on. I'm just trying to find a different one than I've shown you before. Bear with me. Oh, here's a good one. I love this one. I've seen this one before, and I just want you to see it. I want to share this with you. Don't get pissed off, right? Here it is. Here we go. Our planet is made of water. And Karen, sweetheart, I'm going to tell you how to deal with your soul on this one, and this is the way to deal with it, okay? That this planet is 76% water, your body is 76% water, your system fails when you don't have enough water in your blood, okay? That's just the way it is, blood. And so thoughts mean things. Words mean things, but thoughts means things. And I just want to show you the power of words. So I'm going to share this as my parting thought here, because this gives me comfort. I played the video for you that gives me comfort, but I just want to, Jeremy says, we're beering with you. Thank you, brother. Cheers to you and your lovely one. You're right. Beers are made of water. Okay. And yes, you really need to drink some water. Let me show you. Ready? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And here's why this is important. All I'm trying to do is to get your head in the right place. There are, let's just split this in half. I know that's not the correct statement, but let's just say it. There's 80 million pissed off people on both sides. And everybody's pissed off, right? Everybody's pissed off, okay? And in that pissed off dumb and staying in that pissed off mood and talking back to each other about each other on the opposite side of the aisle or otherwise, here's what's going on, guys. And I just ask you to think about this because I think this is one of the most important things I learned. But Emoto, fantastic professor out of Japan, he wrote a book called Messages in Water. It's a wonderful book. I had the pleasure of communicating and dialoguing with him before he passed. And he did basically looking at water under high-powered microscopes. The moment was frozen into a crystalline, so he could look at it. And he was trying to understand the effects of pollution in water, and water was very ugly. And when he relabeled the bottles, he found out, wow, how did this water change in this room? And he finally found out it came down to the labels. And so all you're seeing here is the same exact water, the same exact water. And the only thing that's changed here from this microscopic drop of water out of the very same bottles, he changed the label on the bottle. Love, thank you, and I hate you. Look at those. This is one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen in my life, and it's just true. And the reason it's just true because, you know, if you feel horribly shitty in your life and you think down about yourself and you even think down about this country and all this hate, what you're seeing in this rabid hate of a president is the manifestation of this. Because our planet and our bodies are just absolutely infected with hate. And so I would ask you, consider changing your mindset, because if you change your mindset, you'll feel a little bit better. You'll deal with all of this a little bit better. And it might just make a difference in your life. And this comes down to, yes, you reap what you sow. And I just think this is it, right? Danny Holland saying, Beard, I left Floribama when I saw JHP was dying. Sorry about that. And I'm Beard. Here you go, brother. You're right. It's amazing. And water is a structure. Water is a structure. Freeman says he likes to attend sausage making parties. Nobody likes to go just to a sausage only party. Well, I'm sorry. Hang on. Daisy does like a sausage only party. And she's my sweetheart up in Ocean City, Maryland. So she'll go to a sausage party with you. Right? But you're right. It's no fun at a sausage only party. So just literally consider what you're putting into your brain, consider what you're putting into mind. And you're right, Dennis, my friend. It showed our work that thoughts and feelings can change the world, right? Daisy uni only. So Daisy, is that unicorn only or Unix only? I'm not sure what your particular preference is, dear. But that's it. And you're right, Judy. I felt better since I left Fox News. They were making me sick. I had a career in Fox News. It launched my big television career, and even I'm not watching Fox News right now. But hey, that's the way it is. Anyway, that's it. I want to remind you real quick before I go. Daisy's into sea urchin. Daisy, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you? If you step on a sea urchin, aren't you supposed to piss on it to make the little stickers come out? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a video, right? A lot of people are switching to news back. You know, Jill, I haven't watched Tucker. I've been a little biased about it, right? Kevin says, I'm just trying to tell you we've already won. Look at us compared to them. We have won. You're right, brother, 100%. So I want to show you a video before we stop here. I just want to remind you what we're fighting for on the forensics side. So watch this recap with me real quick. And this is what we're fighting for on the forensic side. These are now in play. These are happening. I'm getting hammered with messages. Yes, I'm working with the legal team. Yes, everybody knows about this, and Sydney and everybody else see it, know it, part of the execution of this. Here's what we're fighting for on the forensic front, just to make sure the votes are verified.
Tell us a little of your background in technology.
Most people know me for what's called Scan Connect, Scan Commerce, or Scan Detect platforms. And that's where when you use your mobile phone, you actually scan a barcode or you scan a Q code and it loads up on your phone. And it's a real simple fact to prove that there was massive fraud in this election. And in my system, we can audit millions of these in a day automatically. And we look for that feature called the kinematic fold. But is that it?
Here is a forensic scan of an actual 2020 ballot. No folds, but when you see the fold, a kinematic artifact is detected. That's where the fold is.
You're saying that you can take those ballots and you can determine whether those ballots that are run through a machine are real or fraudulent. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. We can take the physical ballot, the image scan of the ballot in the machine, the CVR file in the machine, and I can even take a shredded bag of trash of ballots and do what we do. Kinematic artifact is, it's the study of physics that when two forces or two metamaterials come together and bend and apply to each other, it leaves a trail. Technically, when these ballots get folded, everywhere there's printing on that page, it creates a kinematic artifact. How can it be a mail-in ballot if it has no signs of ever being mailed?
This is science, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is science that works by the scientific method. This is not theory. And teach machines to read it, where it's grading it and scaling it, you're getting into the scientific method. You're producing it as an absolute fact. But they'll tell you that, well, that's just a ballot that we fixed. It was called a spoiled ballot. Now,
they adjudicated it.
That's right. They adjudicated it. Now, all we have to do is check the ballots that show as fold against what were done as spoiled ballots adjudicated, and they actually should match, right? That's the only flat one that's supposed to be in there.
This is something that's used in courts all the time to determine whether there's counterfeits or frauds or whatever.
We only need access to audit. So we can look for the spikes, we can look for the fraud, we can look for the number duplications, we can look for the timestamp duplications, we can look for handwriting, machine writing, and kinematic fold. And there, folks, you have provable, easy, low-hanging fruit to prove something nefarious happened.
And what you're talking about is a scientific approach to determining whether or not there was fraud. And once you run the science, then you'll have the knowledge. And no one has run this science yet.
Everything that my team is doing today is the new security measure that will be in place for the next round of elections, and this will never happen again. Jeremy, I love you too. Thank you so very much. And, you know, this is about all of us. I just sit in a unique position with the particular skill sets I have. You know, I'm not the guy that's going to be out serving people at a restaurant, not because I couldn't do it, because I just don't like people enough. Although you see, I interact, but I'm one that I'm going to tell somebody off, right? I would be such a horrible waiter, right? I'd dump shit on people. But I just want to let everybody know that just, you know, hang tight. It is. I know a lot of you are emailing me, Tim, like you said, and Gary. I try to get back with everybody when you email me and tell you thank you and everything else. But all I'm trying to do is translate for you. That's it. News is shitty enough, right? And there's crap on both sides. Take it easy. Take a relax. Remember those thoughts in your body. Remember those thoughts in your body, because I'm telling you, if we forget this and we let these bad thoughts and we let these bad words creep into our body, even if you don't understand, even if you think your candidate is losing or your candidate should win, whichever boat you're in, when you utter these words like I hate you or I hate him or Trump's whatever or Biden's whatever, you just got to understand you're doing this to your body. What I need you to do is be thankful. This middle one, be thankful we know how to detect these things and that we're going to verify the vote. And then love the fact that you do live in a free country, although that seems very questionable right now. But love the fact that in this country, even as bad as it seems, and I know it seems horribly shitty bad right now. It's just true, right? I just want you to know you're still on the greatest country on the planet, simply because, you know, we are still free and we're fighting for our freedom, but we certainly don't live in a third world country. We're not trying to break into America. We're already here. And you should love that. And think about that. Just think about the thoughts you're sending out there. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep you updated. Watch for an announcement tomorrow. There should be some, and it's going to be it's going to be very controversial. Just watch. Stay mellow. I love you all. Okay. Daryl Danforth says, you clean up nice, but I like the basic t-shirt and beer me version of you. Thank you, Daryl. I really appreciate it, right? And sometimes you see me in a suit and sometimes you see me basic. But does everybody know why I try not to wear t-shirts too much? Because I have, ready? If you haven't seen this word, I have perpetually hard nipples. I don't know why. God just made me that way. And so I try to like hide it, but it's absolutely horrible. A guy with hard nipples nonstop, it's absolutely horrible. Okay, by the way, hey, get your family together this weekend. Nippiles. Anyway, get your family together this weekend. Follow my spaghetti recipe. Put that damn stick of butter in that spaghetti. Go outside and have a vomiting contest, right? I love you all. Take care. I'll try to keep you all updated. Share this. Share a little love, if you would be. Share a little love, right? Share a little love. Just try to think. Kenneth says it's an age-related thing, hard nipples. Is it really? Now, Peggy, let me get her. You know, every time I do that, I think about the old Saturday Night Live skit when it was really good. And you remember Dieter Sprockets? He would do that, and he'd twist his shirt, and he'd go, I'm as happy as a little girl. Oh, man, that was some funny shit way back then. Judy Carter saying she's having spaghetti, chicken spaghetti this weekend. That sounds really good. Don't throw it up, but if you do, send me some pictures. Hard nipples break glass. Julia knows what I'm talking about. They'll poke you in the eye. Anyway, okay, great. I love you all. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to try to keep you updated each day and just give you a little bit of hope. Either side you're on, doesn't matter. We just want votes verified. Not fraud, not conspiracy, not that shit. Put that out of your mind. Just votes verified. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.